Welcome to New Zealand. Thanks for joining me. Paul Smith is my name. I am a photographer based here in New Zealand. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. I'd appreciate it. Lately I've been getting a lot of questions about medium format photography and people looking for advice about how to get into it. A lot of people are seeing me use my Hasselblad 500 CM. I get a lot of comments from people saying that they can't afford this kind of kit and looking for other options on how to get started in medium format. I kind of thought today I'm just going to have a bit of fun. I'm just going to have a bit of a just a relaxed session, and just kind of what I want to do is I want to compare two cameras. I want to compare two medium format cameras. You're taking something like this Hasselblad, which is really kind of the cream of the crop, really. Kowa 6 is basically a camera that was Japanese company, Kowa, put out in the 60s. I believe this camera is it's about 60 years old, this camera. They were put out basically to compete with Hasselblad, and looking at the two cameras, very, very similar build quality on them. So a good quality camera. Now this camera cost me pretty much nothing. I bought it as in a box load of cameras. And when I think the whole box of cameras, for about 8 or 9 cameras, cost me about $90 New Zealand, which is about $50 US. You know, film photography is very much about, when you're purchasing film photography gear, cameras, there's a lot of luck involved. And I was very lucky to pick up this camera for pretty much next to nothing. One of the things I'd strongly suggest if you're buying second-hand cameras is go for models that don't require the use of electronics, light meters, in their bodies, or the use of batteries and that kind of stuff, because from my experience, where you start to have problems with second-hand cameras is with the electronics on them, and when they start to break down, they can be very hard to repair, or they can be pretty much impossible to repair. So the good thing about both of these cameras is that they are fully manual. There's no light meters in them, so there's very little that can go wrong with them. So today what I'm doing is I'm just going to have a bit of fun today. I'm going to go out on the farm here. I'm going to use both of these cameras. I'm going to set them up exactly the same, use the same aperture, same shutter speed, and try to take as close to the same picture that I can. And just one note, I am shooting an 80mm lens on the Kowa, and for the most part I'm going to be shooting my 50mm on the Hasselblad. So, I'm going to try and compensate for that that lens by probably moving this camera back a bit from the scene, just so I kind of get a similar kind of shot. Once I've taken some shots out here on the farm, I'm going to kind of go inside. I'm just going to do some kind of product photography type stuff with more controlled light, because I'm actually interested to see, just how well these cameras perform, in a studio type setting, something I haven't done before with the medium format cameras. So I'm going to play around with that as well. Like I say, take some outdoor shots, go indoors, do some kind of small product photography with both these cameras. So once I've finished the photography side of things, I'm going to develop the film. I'm going to develop it in the same tank with the same developer. Today I'm going to use Rodinal 1:50. I've got a large tank, so I can put both reels in and develop both rolls together. So the process for developing both of those rolls is identical. And then we're just going to have a look at the results and just compare the two. It's not which is better. I don't want to do that kind of thing. It's not a review of the cameras. It's just a bit of fun. Just a bit of fun. Just seeing, what you get from something like this. If you shop around, what you can pick up. If you get lucky like I have. I guess just an example of getting a start in medium format photography, because it is a special type of photography. Let's get going. Let's have a bit of fun today. Let's just play around with these two cameras and see what we can get. Let's get into it. Put your feet up and just come and join me while we do some photography, and then we'll check out the results. at the scene of my first shot. I love these water troughs here on the farm. I just like the shapes, the reflections in the water and stuff like that. And there's a few old ones on the property, which are kind of interesting. So I'm going to set up my first shot here. I didn't mention before the film I'm using today, Pan-F Plus, which is Ilford Pan-F Plus, which is a slow film, 50 speed. I'm using that film because it's all the 120 film I've got left at the moment. We're still on lockdown in New Zealand and I haven't been able to buy any new stock. So that's the film today. I've got a bit of that stocked up in the fridge. So I'm using Pan-F Plus, Ilford Pan-F Plus on both cameras today. And that reminds me, if anybody wants me to try out some film and you want to donate some film to the channel, feel free to do so. Drop me a line below and I'll send you my postal address and you can post me some film if you want me to experiment with some film. We could do that. That might be interesting. Alright, I'm going to get into it, carry on with some shots. Once I've done here, there's an old barn at the back of the farm. I'm going to go there. There's some kind of implements and some rubbish lying around. I might take some shots of that. And then I might go and find a horse or two and take a shot of them. So let's get started. the results for me were kind of interesting. I think this camera, I didn't do any real post with the shots. Actually, I did do post, but try to keep the post the same for each camera. Basically, all I did was clean up the shots, getting dust off the shots. I played around with the contrast, the whites, the blacks, which I usually do. Pretty much that was it. The quality of the images from the Kowa was great. The Hasselblad, better for sure, absolutely. But you know, from the perspective that you know, is this a good camera to use? Is it worthwhile buying one? Most definitely, most definitely. If you can pick up one of these reasonably, I'd go for it. Better still if you can pick up one that's in good condition, that's been looked after, it's had a CLA, all that kind of stuff. If you can pick up one, I'd go for it, because they're a great camera. They're a great camera, and like I say, built like a tank. Very similar build quality to the Hasselblad. Nothing at all wrong with this camera at all. So that was this week's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you kind of got something out of it. I'll leave you guys to make your own mind up as to what you thought was better. Is this worth the money? I think it is, but this is certainly, if you can afford to buy one of these, go and get one. A good starting point, I think. There's not a lot of information on them, not a lot of people talk about them, but they're a good camera. So that's this week's episode. Before I go, if you could support my channel, I'd appreciate it. Trying to pay the bills. Please, if you want to support my channel, if you like what you saw today and you want to help my channel out, you want to support my photography, you can do so by buying my book, Style of Moments, which is nearly sold out. I've the last couple of weeks, 2 weeks ago, I mentioned that my stocks were getting down, and I sold more since then. I've nearly sold out of that book. I think I've got about a handful of copies left. Style of Moments is a book about my black and white film photography. It's available for 25 New Zealand dollars, which is about 12 US dollars, £10, that kind of money. Very reasonable. So go and check that out. Also, I have an ebook out if you don't want to buy Style of Moments, and I've got some prints and stuff like that, all available via this link here. Go and check it out. I'd appreciate it, and appreciate your support. That's it for this week. Thanks so much for joining me. Before I go and check out my Instagram. Go and follow me on Instagram, please, if you can. Follow my work. I'll put a link below for my Instagram feed. I'll put a link below for my website and my Facebook feed, all the social media stuff. Go and check it out. I appreciate it. That's it for this week. Thanks so much for joining me, like I said. Until I see you again soon, take care. Haere rā from New Zealand.